let's hear some more stories. I'll go first. Here's me and the boys in some courtyard in Ramadi, probably late 2004/early 2005. We were stacked in the street just outside the door, getting ready to enter the courtyard when we got lit up by heavy machine guns that were hidden in an adjacent alley. The guy on the ground was in front of me and got hit twice in the back just below the plate. That's me on his back, crowbar in hand, cutting his vest off so I can stop the bleeding. One of the bullets that hit him happened to be a tracer round, and it must have hit his body armor and slowed down because it popped right out, almost like a pimple, into my hand. The guy, Sergeant Morton, made a full recovery but got sent home. I kept that bullet, cleaned it up and carried it with me until we got home. It actually fit perfectly on my dog tag chain. Then I gave it back to him.
Iraq 2007. It was cold as fuck. We were tasked with setting up an ambush IOT to take care of some problem locals. We got in position the night before, maybe a half mile away from the entrance to a little village that these clowns would be entering around dawn. All we needed to do was wait for daylight, give them the business when they walked through, and then leave, hopefully making it home in time for lunch. We waited all night, silent and motionless, laying in snow FFS. Finally, the sun started to rise, and we heard the voices of men on foot approaching our position. It was 2 old guys and maybe 6 cows. Not who we were waiting for. The old guys were chatting and walked past without noticing us. Everything was good. A cow spotted us. This idiot cow then decides to come over and investigate. This piqued the interests of the other cows, and they decided to come over and check things out. Half a dozen cows began leaving the road and entering our palm grove. By this time, their human escorts have noticed and are heading back to our position. The old guys spotted us. Heads lowered, eyes dropped, and they were back on the road in seconds, speed walking TF out of there. Our plans kinda fell apart, so we speed walked TF out of there in the other direction. Made it back in time for lunch though, and I had a fucking cheeseburger. Right at the start of 2014, I was finally placed back in a line platoon after getting sent to HQ platoon for disciplinary reason. January 3rd, my birthday, I roll out on my first mission outside the wire of the deployment. We were clearing roads through some village ahead of a special forces team that was setting up shop there. Route was black, and so we got lit TF up. We were mounted, and I was gunner on an RG-31 when I saw a plume of dust go up in a group of trees about 200 m away. The thump came just a second later. "What the fuck was that?" I asked, thinking everyone else in my vehicle could see what I saw. "I don't know," my TC shouted back in his twangy accent. "Can I shoot it?" I asked. Then there were more plumes, and something blew up on the ground about 10 m to the left of our truck. Small arms fire started chattering, and I could hear bullets whizzing past my turret. Surprisingly, they weren't hitting the truck. I noticed groups of fireflies blinking ever so gracefully as they let go of rounds in our direction, so I lit them up with my 50. Caught notice of 2 dudes behind a low mud wall about 350 m out firing at us, and walked my 50 over to them. As I did, I noticed a dog cutting zigzags through a field trying to get out of the fight. My 50 walked up to them, and the dude on the left disappeared, then the guy on the right turned and ran. My soft-spoken driver, Dominican dude from New York, goes, "Oh shit," in the least concerned voice possible, and slams the brakes. At the same time, my eyes move down and to my right, and I see a dude 15 m away popping out from behind a structure with an RPG over his shoulder. I rock in the turret, and an RPG round slams into the road before us. Probably would have been a kill shot to the engine block of the truck. I go to light him up, and my weapon jams. Army training is fucking great, and so before I know it, my hands are clearing the jam, and I get 2 more shots off before it jams again. Dude skedaddles off behind the structure, and we push through the ambush and go on about our mission. We get in a couple more scuffs with guys further down the road, and the truck in front of me later takes an IED hit, which leaves us stranded in the village overnight, waiting on React forces to assist in recovery. I didn't have batteries in my MEGs, which made the night more fun. Ultimately, Apache pilots saved the day and mowed down enough guys to take the fight out of them. A group of about 17 tried to move on us at night, but the Apaches did a couple low passes and scared them off. On our side, we had a few TBIs, nothing more serious. We all got back to base the next morning and had some chow, then knocked TF out. They did try to hit us with 2 RCIEDs on our way back the next morning, but our jammers both cooked our brains and kept us safe that time. Anyways, sometimes I miss it. That was my 21st birthday.
Iraq, Yusufia Power Plant, 2007. I was pulling guard at a position overlooking the Russian trailer park, which was always a wind tunnel aimed straight at your face. It was winter, and cold as fuck. We had a potbelly stove in the OP to the right of the 240, to keep us less miserable. Being the skinny fat boy I am, I brought a can of Chef Boyardee raviolis that I had mailed to me, to ease the pain. Put it on the top of the stove to heat up, and forgot about it for a bit. SOG called sometime later, to ask if I wanted chow, one of the few dudes that actually tried to feed us while on guard, and SOG, which reminded me that I had that can on the stove. I grab it off, and put it on the gun table, quickly forgetting about it again, since I'm smart like that. Some more time passes, and I start hearing this tink, tink, tink metallic sound. It kinda sounds like someone is hammering metal or something in the distance, and I'm thinking it's the friendly neighbors planting their mortar plate into the ground or some such. I was 11B, I wasn't supposed to be smart. Right when I'm leaning my face out to try and see if the possible hoodrat activities are happening right out of sight, I hear a loud explosion. Feel a smack in the face, and I see nothing but bright red, and my face feels like it was on fire. I immediately think I just got sniped in the dome, and start pawing at my face in a panic to see if I can fingerfuck the bullet wound to survive long enough to find the hand mic. I get my sweet 1980s style iPro off, and see the real carnage. Chef Boyardee tried to fucking kill me. The cold wind hitting the hot as fuck can made the pop top explode off, giving me a ravioli and tomato sauce facial. What I thought was brain matter and blood, was luckily just the remnants of my dinner, and me learning a bit about thermodynamics the hard way. I had burns to my face, a 240 covered in sauce, and a close encounter with a hilariously embarrassing death. The lid ninja starred inches from my neck and hit the wall behind me. I hoped they would have came up with a better story to tell my family, if I got whacked by a fucking ravioli can. I kept my iPro, unwashed, because that was just too fucking funny. My most cherished war trophy.
We deployed mid-2006 until November of 2007 as part of a PSD task force. We were in Yusufia/Mahmudia in the Triangle of Death. Our truck hit its first IED about 3 months in. Our first convoy IED was 2 weeks in. We were driving down this narrow dusty road and we heard a loud bang and dust and dirt flying all over the place. We had a THT military intelligence soldier with us and she was freaking out. I'm hit, I'm hit. I looked her over and checked for wounds/bleeding, she was not hit. The LT called up on the radio asking for our situation and our platoon sergeant who was riding TC, responded with, "Yes sir." No casualties, no injuries. But the IED took out our AC. It's very hot in here, over. LT chuckled. Copy that. Be sure to look over your Vic when we get back.
Harrison James Meyer, Private First Class, U.S. Army. On November 26, 2004, Private First Class Harrison James Meyer was serving as a medical aid man in Company D, 1st Battalion, Airborne, 503rd Parachute Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 2nd Infantry Division while deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. On that day, PFC Meyer's unit was engaged in combat action against enemy forces in Ramadi when his disregard for his own safety and courage under enemy machine gun fire saved the lives of 5 soldiers. PFC Myers' selfless, courageous actions that day earned him, at the cost of his life, the U.S. Army's third highest award for valor, the Silver Star Medal. Medals, awards, and badges. Silver Star Medal, Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Army Overseas Service Ribbon, Combat Medical Badge, Parachutist Badge. Silver Star Medal Citation. The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress July 9, 1918, amended by an Act of July 25, 1963, takes pride in presenting the Silver Star, posthumously, to Private First Class Harrison J. Meyer, United States Army, for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action while serving as a medical aid man in Company D, 1st Battalion, Airborne, 503d Parachute Infantry Regiment, 2D Brigade Combat Team, 2D Infantry Division, during combat operations in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom on November 26, 2004, in Iraq. Private First Class Myers' disregard for his own safety and courage under enemy machine gun fire saved the lives of 5 soldiers. His valorous actions are in keeping with the highest standards of selfless service and reflects great credit upon himself, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 503d Infantry Regiment, Multinational Corps Iraq, and the United States Army. Thank you for watching. If you like to watch more of these videos, please leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share it to your friends and family. I'll see you in the next video.